Alright, so today we're going to start our triangles part of this. So we have lines, we have angles, we have triangles. We've already done some of this. We're going to fill out what we've done and what we're doing today. So perpendicular lines, we're on 42 and 43. And equations, we're on 44 and 45. Okay, now let me zoom in. Today we're going to talk about triangles. We're going to talk about triangle congruence for a while now. That's what we're talking about for the next couple of weeks. Okay. So starting with exploring what makes triangles congruent. That's going to be on 46 and 47. Remember, the word congruent means the same. So we're going to talk about what makes triangles congruent. So we're going to turn to that page, 46 and 47. We're going to fill out both today. So go ahead and label page 46 as 5.1, exploring what makes triangles congruent. And go ahead and put that on 47 as well. We will finish 47 today. It's 46 and 47. 5.1, exploring what makes triangles congruent. And we will talk about specific things that make triangles congruent. Okay, on page 46, we are not actually going to be taking any notes there yet. We have a foldable that has all 5 of the triangle congruence theorems. We are going to take that and fold it so that the words proving triangles congruent is on the outside, not on the outside, is visible, like this. Okay, we're going to cut on the dashed lines. Your job every day at the end of the class when we talk about one of these is to go and write that theorem in this. So you will write the side angle side theorem after we do that one. And I believe we do that one on, not Monday, not yet, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it has a picture to show you what the theorem actually is saying there. So this is going to go on 46. This is just a summation of all of the triangle congruence theorems. Glue that on 46, and we'll get started on 47. So if you don't have a printer, then what you are doing, you can either make yourself a foldable with a piece of paper, or you can just write down the triangle congruence theorems over here, okay? Now, on 47, we're going to be working on a sheet of paper that I also have included here. We will glue that in a minute, but for now, to make sure you don't write anywhere you don't need to, I need you to cut off the extra side piece. So on this side that says reteach, we're going to cut all the way off to about the line right there. And my thing froze, so you have no idea what I just cut off. Okay, so I cut off to this line right here. So it didn't actually cut off anything over here on this side. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to cut off to the line. And there's a reason, I promise, that we're cutting that off. Alright, now I'm just going to throw that away. Alright, so we're starting on the side that says reteach. I know it doesn't make sense that it's reteach because you have not learned this yet. It's not reteaching, it's me teaching it to you the first time. Alright, so let's look here. I have to change the brightness so we can actually. Alright, it says if corresponding parts of triangles are congruent, then the triangles themselves are congruent. So in the figure shown here, since you know A is congruent to X, B is congruent to Y, C is congruent to Z, and since the side lengths AB are congruent to XY, BC is congruent to YZ, and CA is congruent to ZX, then we know that the triangle is congruent. There will be some shortcuts for that when we get to the actual theorems, but today there is not. So number one, in the figure, triangle PQR is congruent to triangle STU. If QR is congruent to TU, what else must be true about the sides? We kind of did this in the lesson about corresponding parts. So QR is congruent to TU. Okay, then what else must be congruent? Well, PQ, right here, P, remember order matters, PQ is congruent to ST. Okay, and the last side length PR. And if I put PR, P, then R, I have to put S, then U. Okay, let's talk about the angles. If angle R is congruent to angle U, what else must be true? Well, we've got the last two. Let's start with the next one, angle P. P is congruent to S. They look like right angles, but since they don't have that little box in them, we don't know that they are, so we can't say that they are, okay? They might look like it, but unless it's told to you that they are right angles, they are not. All right, Q and T. Okay, make sure you label your triangle. All right, last, number 3. If the measure of angle P is 20 degrees, what is the measure of angle S? Well, P is congruent to S, so the measure of angle S, that's how you write it, measure of angle S, is also 20 degrees. Okay. If PQ is equal to 4 centimeters, PQ is congruent to ST. What is ST? Well, it's also 4 centimeters. By the way, see how these don't have a segment length over them, but these do? When they don't, it normally means they want you to find the actual length instead of saying what it's congruent to. Okay, number 5, if M is 30 degrees and Q is a right angle, see, they told us it was a right angle. What is the measure of angle U? Okay, so this is 30, this is 90, and it says, what is U? Well, U is going to be the same as R. So there are 180 degrees in a triangle. I can subtract 90, which is this angle, and I get 90 left. I can subtract 30, and I get 60 left. So that means U has to be 60 degrees. And I want you to write it as the measure of angle U equals 60. Get in the habit of doing that. Okay. All right, let's talk about the other side. All right, so we're identifying congruent parts. Like I said, we kind of have done this before. So number 1 through 6, I want you to pause the video and fill in those blanks, okay? Fill in those blanks and label the triangle. Okay, so based on this right here, angle Z is congruent to angle Q. YZ, Y then Z, is congruent to P then Q. P, Q. Okay, angle P. Angle P is congruent to angle Y. Angle X, and I forgot to, hang on, let's label the diagram. Okay, angle X. 1, 2, 3. X and N are congruent. right, NQ, N to Q, N to Q, X to Z. PN, P to N, that means Y, no, X to Y. I can't evidently read a segment anymore. So N, no, P to N is Y. Let me show you that all over again. PN, P to N means we go from Y to X. That's why I said Y, but I didn't know why, evidently. It's a terrible joke. Okay, now let's see what we're looking for segment lengths and stuff. They did tell us we have some right angles, so that's good to know. So number 7 says find Z. Well, here is Z. Since that's the measure of an angle right here, we're going to be able to set that equal to 90. Okay, subtract 6. 7Z equals 84. Divide by 7. And Z is 12. So Z is 12. That's the answer to number 7. Number 8 is similar. Find Y. Y is right here. So I'll plug this in over here. 5Y equals 90. So divide by 5. And Y equals 18. Now we're going to use these for every other piece, basically, except for probably some of the angle measures. All right, the measure of angle L. Here is L. This is 90. This is 30. That means all that's left is 60. We did that on the other side. You're like, well, how in the world did you do that quick? Right here, we had a 30, a 90, and I knew it was 60 left, so it was the same problem actually. So the measure of angle L is 60 degrees. LN. Okay. LN is right here. LN. We already know Y is 18. So to find LN, we are going to do 2 times 18 minus 12. 2 times 18 is 36. 36 minus 12 is 24. Measure of angle C. Well, C, let's see what C is congruent. C and L are congruent, so that means it's also 60 degrees. And last, AC. AC is Z, Z is 12, plus 12, which is 24. But also, we've already found LN, and if you look, LN and CA or AC, even if you do it backwards, are the same length. All right, last, number 13. It says mark all the congruent corresponding parts of the two triangles. It tells you these are congruent right here. I want you to mark every piece. So pause it and mark it. Okay, I'm going to start with angles. So Q and J. Q, J. By the way, if your marks are different than mine, like let's say you had 2 here and 2 here, that's fine as long as they match. 2 and 2, 1 and 1, 3 and 3. R and K and S and L. All right, side links. QR, JK, RS, KL, QS, JL. There we go. Now, we are going to glue this one in a lot differently than what you are used to. So, we're going to turn it back over to the other side. Looks like this here. We have this extra space at the bottom. See it? We are going to fold up to our work there. So, I've just folded that underneath. It's underneath. I'm going to put glue only on that piece right here, this white blank piece. That's going to go at the very bottom of my notebook. Page 47, the very bottom. It'll cover up the title a little bit, but that's fine because when I flip it down, I can see the title. Okay, there you go. So that goes in your notebook on page 47.